banyak deh. Oh, masih banyak keluar, masih lagi banyak. Ini masih keluar lagi banyak nih. Wow.
This is so cool. Look at that. And the eyes. Let's look at the eyes too. Bring it all around. Oh, that's so cool. You can see the compound eyes on it. You can see how, as I focus through at different ranges, like different colors reflect through it. Like here, it's like reddish, and then it turns green once I get past a certain point. That's pretty cool. Let's look at this surface here. So look at this. So there's the large kind of darker hairs that extend outwards, and then there's the kind of smaller kind of blondish hair almost that kind of extends out, and that's pretty awesome. It's interesting too that it's kind of like a triangular shape. You know, it doesn't just come. You know, like if you were to draw a fly, you draw the head and the middle and the back. You wouldn't draw the middle part with like a triangular shape. You would just draw like, you know, 3 circles. But it does kind of come back at an angle, probably so that the wings can fit under it. And look at this wing here, how it fits up in here. It looks like some kind of crazy pneumatic cylinder. You see what I'm talking about there? Like, it comes up, and then there's like some rod that sticks out of it. That's probably all the mechanism that makes it able to fly around. Wow. The wings are interesting as well. They're kind of a darker brownish color. Probably because this fly's been, you know, dead for a long time, so I don't know if it normally would be that color. But it's, you know, it's fairly close to what you'd normally see. So beautiful. You can see the wing on the end there. It's kind of beat up. Oop, that's his foot. I was like, what's that part of the wing doing way out of focus? And then those kind of loops come back there. When you look at something like this, it always makes you think like, wow, this is a prehistoric beast, you know what I mean? Like, there's aspects of it that look so alien and amazing. You know, flies have been around for like, I think it's like 60 million years or 50 million years, something like that. So you figure this thing has had a lot of time on this earth long before us, and it's kind of amazing. It's just the brightness here. So when you're looking at this, you're kind of looking back into the past in some way or another, that this creature's been around a long time. Now it looks different from it did back in the day, but still pretty awesome. Wow. So let's look at maybe down in this corner. You can see this little leg broke off. It's actually funny, you may be noticing that this fly is different from the other fly I showed you in the intro. As I set the other fly down on the table to mount him up, his head ripped off. I had to go set him down, and his head came off. But so I couldn't use that one. So this fly is slightly different, but this guy sits a lot better on the actual platform. So here's the back of the fly. Let's look at that. It's so weird. It almost looks like a forest, like all the leaves have been stripped off the trees. And instead there's just like a bunch of like old broken pieces of wood, or like, you know, if like an asteroid hit, like the Tunguska event, something like that. That's pretty crazy. And the hairs that come out the end there. Look at the little hairs that come out this foot too. These are the back legs. These seem much more different. Like there's like a definite spike on the end there. And then let's look at, I think we were going to look at this back leg too. Yeah, let's check this out. Get a good look at everything. Wow, that's cool. That's neat. See if I can rotate this at all. Probably not too much. I'll just go through a full focal range on the eyes. Look at the little like antenna things that come out of the front. So I'll bring it all the way up, and I'll bring it through. So see the hair and the head and all that, and the eyes. So many pieces. They almost look like pixels. You know, like on a screen, like just that grid pattern, and then it comes down, and there's these kind of beautiful little tree-looking protuberances, and then that's pretty much it on it. Wow, that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch this out now. And I'm going to mount it on a pin like I had earlier, and so we can look at it in freeform in 3D and see what it looks like. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, now we're talking. So it's going to be a little more shaky, but should still be visible hopefully to you. Now we're going to have a good look at it in kind of a rotational, three-dimensional aspect now. So look at this. There's a lot of interesting detail in it. You can see the pin going through them. Just ignore that. There's this little thing underneath the wing here. I'm not actually sure what that is. Some kind of a little structure. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. And then you see the hairs coming out, and they curve back almost like spines. And then let's look at this leg up here. Same thing. Really cool spikes that extend outwards. And it's interesting too how much thicker the first joint is than the second joint. Like here, for example. You see how it goes from being very thin, and then boom, it gets real thick. So it must be a lot of muscle that controls that there, rather than the lower limbs that don't need as much. Interesting patterns too. If you look at that, you see how there's kind of like a dark color, and then there's like reddish or brownish colors, and then whitish colors. That's really interesting. So there's a lot of color in there. And this little spot in the wing is weird. Let's look at the wing here at this angle. You can see those little serrated edges on the wing much stronger. It's amazing what these little guys do, fly around, and they do all their work in such a short period of time. The average housefly lives like 2 to 4 weeks. So, you know, it's amazing. This whole body grows, and they do all they need to do in that time, and then that's it for them. But they do what they need to do. Now, I have heard that there's these things called, I think they're called halteres, because flies only have 2 wings, and a lot of other insects actually have 4, and they're kind of just behind the wing here. And they're like a little counterbalance, almost like a little dumbbell on the end of